Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Partnership for a Sustainable Future, Cutting Edge Innovations in Agriculture in Ibaraki Prefecture, Japan, and Emilia-Romagna region, Italy. Before we get started, I would like to just let everyone know that this webinar is being recorded. 皆さん、ようこそおはようございます。こんにちは。今日のウェビナーは録画されます。And also to let you know that you will be able to hear everything in English, including our speakers who will be speaking in Japanese. If you see at the bottom of your screen, there is an icon that looks like a globe. If you click that and select English, you will be able to hear English the whole way through the webinar. そして、日本からご参加されている皆さん、下にある地球のアイコンを押していただければ、日本語っていうオプションが出てきますので、日本語を選択してください。登壇者が英語で発表しているときは、日本語の同時通訳が流れます。Thank you very much.
Those people who want to listen to the contents in English, please choose English and choose the Japanese for Japanese language interpretation.
He's going to give us an opening speech. Over to you, Jeremy.
Thank you, Hannah. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone who's attending. I just want to say CREAB is very proud to welcome you to the webinar today between Ibaraki Prefecture in Japan and Emilia-Romagna region in Italy, focusing on their partnership for a sustainable future, which is cutting-edge innovations in agriculture. We will see two welcome addresses via video message from the governor of Ibaraki Prefecture and the president of Emilia-Romagna region. Following this, we'll hear from 9 separate speakers coming from both regions. So I'll now hand you back again to Hannah, who will introduce the first section. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. So first of all, we have a video message from the governor of Ibaraki Prefecture, and I will press play on that now.
Hello, I'm Kazuhiko Oigawa, governor of Ibaraki Prefecture. Welcome to this joint webinar between Ibaraki and Emilia-Romagna. Today, we come together to discuss the theme of new technologies and methods for the future, with a focus on agriculture and food products. Ibaraki Prefecture is renowned for its high-quality agricultural products, including melons, sweet potatoes, beef, and pork. We take great pride in our agricultural heritage and are dedicated to promoting sustainable practices that benefit our communities. Additionally, Ibaraki is home to Tsukuba Science City, a leading research and development hub in Japan. This city fosters innovation and collaboration between academia, industry, and the government, driving economic growth and creating new opportunities for innovation. Our partnership with Emilia-Romagna region dates back to 1986, established after the expo held in Tsukuba. We have since fostered cultural exchanges and cooperation between our region. We extend our warmest greetings to our friends from Emilia-Romagna and commend your commitment to sustainable development and innovation. This joint webinar serves as an excellent occasion for collaboration and knowledge sharing. We hope to learn from one another and explore new opportunities for the cooperation. We believe this event will provide you with a better understanding of our region and invite you to discover the unique charm of Ibaraki Prefecture. Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to your active participation in this exciting event. Thank you. Hello.
So that was the opening speech from the governor of Ibaraki Prefecture, and now we will see a short video from the president of the Emilia-Romagna region.
Cari amici di Ibaraki, un affettuoso e caloroso saluto insegno anche della nostra straordinaria e duratura amicizia, nata tra la prefettura di Ibaraki e la regione Emilia-Romagna addirittura nel lontano 1986 e che ha saputo rafforzarsi nel corso di questi decenni, da ultimo la visita di una delegazione istituzionale e di imprese proprio qui a Bologna poche settimane fa in occasione di Sana, di una grande fiera, di una fiera internazionale nella quale abbiamo potuto ulteriormente rafforzare la nostra collaborazione, scambi di opinione, anche in previsione della missione che faremo a novembre. Sarò presente anche io in Giappone portando la cucina emiliano-romagnola, la straordinaria cucina e i prodotti agroalimentari della nostra regione in Giappone. Abbiamo scelto il vostro paese quest'anno come meta annuale per portare le eccellenze culinarie emiliano-romagnole. Saremo a Tokyo, saremo ad Osaka, che sarà sede tra l'altro nel 2025 dell'Expo Universale, e anche e soprattutto saremo proprio da voi per rafforzare gli scambi, in particolare questo webinar che affronta il tema dell'innovazione in campo agricolo ed agroalimentare, mettendo insieme le forti competenze che i nostri rispettivi territori possono garantire per affrontare tutto ciò che ci aspetta in campo di nuove produzioni agricole, di salubrità dei prodotti e soprattutto per un'agricoltura che sia sempre più di qualità. Non vedo l'ora di venire nel vostro paese, nel vostro territorio, nella vostra prefettura, e non ho dubbi che sarà un'occasione molto proficua per rafforzare la collaborazione e le attività che insieme, pur stando in due parti del mondo così distanti ma così vicine, per gli sforzi e gli obiettivi che ci vogliamo dare per garantire ai nostri cittadini una sempre maggiore qualità della loro vita e delle loro vite. Grazie anche, da ultimo, per la generosa offerta che avete fatto in occasione della recente drammatica alluvione che ha colpito l'Emilia-Romagna. Pensate che è stato, nei primi 9 mesi del 2023, è stato classificato come uno dei 3 avvenimenti più catastrofici al mondo. Grazie per quello che avete fatto, in segno di amicizia, di solidarietà. Ci ha fatto molto piacere e vi devo dire ci ha anche commosso. Grazie e a presto.
So that was our opening video from the president of the Emilia-Romagna region. So before we get started, I'll just give you a quick overview of how today's webinar is going to look. So we've just had our opening speech and our opening videos, and after I'm done speaking, we'll move on to our actual presentations. We have 9 presentations today. 5 are from Ibaraki Prefecture and 4 of them are from the Emilia-Romagna region. Our first speaker actually is joining us from America, and so he may have to leave early due to the time difference. So we're going to have a short Q&A session just for him immediately after his presentation. But for all of the other speakers, we'll have a longer Q&A session at the end of the webinar. So please, throughout the webinar, please put all of your questions in either English or Japanese into the Q&A box, and we will go through all of them, as many as we can with the time that we have at the very end of the webinar after the presentations. And finally, once we've done our Q&A session, we will have a closing speech from Jeremy again, and then we will be done for the day. We have a presentation from our first speaker from Emilia-Romagna. It's Giuseppe Moscatelli. Giuseppe is a researcher from CRPA, the Research Center on Animal Production. His presentation is titled Gas Loop, Ammonia Emissions Capture for a Virtuous Nitrogen Cycle in Pig Livestock. He'll be explaining to us how their project can contribute to animal welfare and productivity by capturing the ammonia emissions that are produced in pig farming. Welcome, Giuseppe. Please start your presentation.
Okay, good morning. Thanks, Anna, for your welcome. Now I show my presentation. Okay, I put it at full screen. All is okay for you?
Yep, we can see that, but it isn't full screen yet for us.
Yes. Okay. This presentation will explain the innovation, the idea behind the gas loop project. The project is related to ammonia emissions capture for a virtuous nitrogen cycle in pig livestock. The project was funded by Emilia-Romagna region in the thematic topic of the operational group for the innovation in agricultural sector. What is the problem addressed? That of ammonia emissions from pig livestock in the Po Valley, where Emilia-Romagna region is located. As you can see from the satellite image, the Po Basin area is among those in Europe with the highest ammonia gas concentration, and ammonia causes health problems to livestock farm, to human health and odor, and it is also an important precursor of fine dust. The Po Valley in Italy represents one of the areas with the highest concentration of particulate matter. The goal of the innovation is to transform ammonia emissions from a problem to a fertilizers resource, to generate a nitrogen virtuous cycle or loop in the pig farming, which producing ammonium sulfate recovered fertilizers by capturing ammonia emissions, reduce also the chemical input for the farming crops and consequently the greenhouse gas emissions generated by fertilizers industrial production. The main project tasks were develop a pilot able to clean the air and to recover ammonia, and implement the system up to a technological maturity level equal to 9, ready for market. Other tasks were monitor, evaluate the air washing treatment efficiency, the ammonia emissions avoided, the enhanced indoor air quality for human and animal. Also produce, quantify, and characterize the recovered fertilizers in a view of nutrient recovery and circular economy, evaluate GHG reduction, evaluate the increasing of the animal welfare and productivity due to better air quality inside the pig housing. At the end, dissemination of the activity and the results, training and demo visit to make sure this innovation to the farmer. Here in the picture, there is the pilot system to treat the air. The device draws ammonia-rich air from pig rooms through a suction duct located below the slatted floor, where under there is the pit to collect pig manure. In this way, the emissions from the slurry don't rise and pass through the slatted floor into the room above, but are sucked up by the treatment system. The air treatment is based on chemical absorption of ammonia by counter-current acid washing into this tower. The process takes place at pH 4.5, and a sulfuric acid solution is used as absorbent matrix. Ammonia as a base is salified by the sulfate ions, and a liquid solution containing ammonium sulfate salt is produced. During the cold season, a quart of the treated air without ammonia is recirculated into the room in order to not dissipate the heat, while in the hot months, the treated air is exhausted outside to implement the ventilation of the stable. As we can see, the ammonia concentration in the treated room, in this line red, compared to near identical but not treated rooms, in this line blue, control room, is reduced in every season of the year from the 57% to 67%. And the higher treatment efficiency of the device between the ammonia content input and ammonia content output in the treated flow is about 80–90%. The treatment system during the monitor year made it possible to recover nitrogen, particularly 14.5 kilograms of nitrogen recovered per year per ton of live weight in the rooms. Given that expressed as ammonia emissions means ammonia emissions avoided for 17.6 kilograms of ammonia per year per ton of live weight, or 1.9 kilograms of ammonia for animal place per year. The innovation not only reduce ammonia emissions, but also enable the recovery of ammonium sulfate solution with a nitrogen content in average of 4.9% in weight, and in some cases as a maximum of 6.4%. And the mineral ammonia nitrogen form inside the solution is for the 99% in a mineral form of this parameter linked to the very low content of total organic carbon, only the 1.2–1.3% in weight, and the very low carbon nitrogen ratio, make this ammonium sulfate solution produced complying with the European regulation on fertilizers, and can be sold as a mineral inorganic fertilizer. Moreover, this production of ammonium sulfate can reduce the GHG emission due to replacement of nitrogen industrial fertilizers, and we were able to reduce of 66 tons of CO2 equivalent per year per ton of live weight. Moreover, in another project, Resurge, we are testing this recovered ammonium sulfate instead of chemical industrial fertilizers on sugar beets and basil crops. The final crops production yields don't appear to be lower compared to those fertilizers by urea nitrogen industrial fertilizers. Indeed, in the case of basil, even higher. Animal welfare and productivity are also investigated, and this table shows how the main productivity parameters are better in the treated rooms compared to the pig grown up in the control rooms, even if with low difference. Only the absence of lung injuries at the slaughterhouse was significantly higher in the higher treated rooms pigs compared to the pigs grown in the control rooms. One note has to be shown. The trials were carried out in a pig livestock which already adopt an high animal welfare standard and complain to the DPO Parma Harm Disciplinary. This slide only to show you this link to the Nutrino EU platform, because GasLoop has become part of the Nutrino platform. Nutrino is an European project, and in this project, one of the innovative nutrient management solution was GasLoop, together with other 12 solutions derived by other 12 operational groups. At this link, more information will be available in the next 2 years on this European topic of the connecting farmer and the science, and to explain and disseminate the correct management of nutrients in the agricultural sector. To be concluded, the air treatment with ammonia recovery as fertilizers was technically feasible. In our case study pig farm, with a total live weight of 1,150 tons, results recoverable nitrogen in a year for 16.8 tons, with consequently ammonia emissions avoided for 20.3 tons of ammonia per year. The ammonia concentration in the livestock room is reduced and ammonia emission consequently reduced. This means a better animal welfare and worker health and an higher yield for the productivity of the pig. Nitrogen recovered in ammonium sulfate solution could be valorized as a mineral nitrogen fertilizer in the pig farm or in an external trading, nutrient recovery and reuse topics. But at the end, the impact of the pig production cost of the innovation for reducing ammonia emissions is problematic. Cost increase of 7.3% for kilograms of meat produced. Related to the value of the meat in Italy today is the 7.3% of €2.3 per kilograms of pig meat produced. As is often the case, systems to reduce environmental impact produce more cost for the farm than economic benefit. Funding support may be welcome. And moreover, the production of recovered versus synthetic fertilizers should be economically promoted or supported. Thanks all for your attention. This is the image where the trials are carried out.
Thank you so much, Giuseppe-san. If anyone has any questions for Giuseppe about his presentation, please put them in the Q&A box and we'll come to them at the end when we do the Q&A session together. Thank you very much. So next we have another speaker from Emilia-Romagna region. We have Ambra Motta, who is also a researcher from the Research Center on Animal Production. Ambra will be presenting about CRPA's project PARSUT, which stands for the Parma Ham High Sustainability Standard. This project aims to create a more ethical production chain for Parma ham, which Emilia-Romagna is quite famous for. So over to you, Amber, please start your presentation.
Thank you, Anna. I try to share my presentation. I ask you if you see my screen.
Yep, we can see that.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you for this opportunity. As Hannah told you before, my name is Amber Motta and I'm a researcher at CRPA, Research Center on Animal Production. Today, I will show you a presentation about Parsut project. Parsut is a project funded by the Rural Development Program 2014-2020 of the Emilia-Romagna region. It is an operational group project for innovation, and this type of project enables cooperation between research organizations such as CRPA and productive world, so farms, slaughterhouse, and factories. The project is still ongoing, so today I will give you an overview of the goals and the activities, and I will report some results. Parsut project wants to create a Parma ham production chain model with extra qualities added to the PDO that can meet the demands of Italian and foreign consumers. And in particular, it wants to develop a technical protocol which includes high standard of animal welfare, biosecurity, and responsible use of antibiotics in pig farms. However, this protocol has to consider two fundamental aspects. It has to be economically sustainable and it has to have a low environmental impact. Some of the activities of the project are focused on breeding, so on farm. National and international standards were revised in order to identify a list of relevant parameters to be included in the protocol, considering also their feasibility in pig farms. The identified parameters were submitted to more than 100 stakeholders, such as farmers, veterinarians, agronomists, animal NGOs, to refine this list and select the most relevant measures for animal welfare, biosecurity, and responsible use of antibiotics. Then a list of animal welfare indicators for sows, piglets, weaners, and also fatteners were submitted to 32 international scientific experts for the final selection. This online consultation resulted in a draft protocol and data collection checklist that were tested on a number of farms. On the basis of these assessments, it was possible to identify which improvements were needed on farms to comply with the protocol. CRPA now is going to calculate investment and management costs of the proposed improvements. We define investment cost as construction or renovation costs of buildings and also cost of equipment and facilities. The main requirements included in the protocol are related to research-based measures, for example, type of housing, type of flooring, drinkers, feeders, enriched materials, are related also to the direct control of animal-based indicators, such as lameness, wounds on the body or tail lesions, and also behavior, and some aspects about biosecurity and responsible use of antibiotics. In this slide, I give you some examples of what stakeholders and scientific experts suggested to us on online consultation. For example, no cages or temporary crate system for lactating sows, a comfortable resting area with solid floor and the ban of a fully slatted flooring system, also increased floor area per animal compared to the minimal legal requirements, and at the end, the availability of rootable and fibrous material as enrichment materials. So this is the main requirements of the protocol, of Pursuit Protocol. Regarding biosecurity, some of the parameters included in the protocol are the strict application of all-in, all-out system, complemented by cleaning and disinfecting the facility for the new group and the new batches of pigs. A sanitary break, that is a period in which the piggeries, so the facilities, are empty before the introduction of a new group or batches of pigs. They suggested us also to establish the rules for entering into the facilities. As you know, people and vehicles can be important pathways for the introduction of a new disease in the farm. So the risk associated to visits may be minimized by a combination of barriers, such as a clear delimitation of clean and dirty area, or a perimeter fence, or the use of disposal clothing, boots, and gloves, or also an arc of disinfection for vehicles. Other activities of the project focused on the supply chain. For example, traceability of high standard Parma ham along supply chain, economic and environmental sustainability, not only for farm and for farmers, but for the entire supply chain, and also market outlets. As I told you before, not all the activities are concluded. Here in this slide, you can see the results of the survey at large-scale retail trade. The survey, conducted in the mass distribution circuit on 34 important distribution chains, has underlined a growing interest for control quality chains that improve also animal welfare. So more than 90% of respondents, so of the retailers, the large retailers, are interested in a Parma ham with these characteristics. So high standard of animal welfare, biosecurity, and responsible use of antibiotics. Since breeding farming with high animal welfare standards means higher costs for farmers, buyers, so the retailers, were asked what price increase they would be willing to accept. 33% of large retailers would not accept any price increase, while 50% would be willing to tolerate an increase of 1.5 euro per kilogram. Almost of the buyers interviewed believe that consumers would not be willing to accept any price increase, while the other half believes that the acceptable increase could be between 1 to 3 euro per kilogram. Most respondents also believe that there is a 30–50% chance that their brand, so their retailer, will include a line of Parma ham based on this kind of protocol, so with high animal welfare standard and also high standard of biosecurity and responsible use of antibiotics. The survey conducted also underlined the importance of a specific packaging, a self-dedicated and label information for Parma based on a protocol with this high standard level. Moreover, we asked the respondents what are, in their opinion, the barriers, the obstacles to the adoption of this kind of virtuous protocol. And the main ones are the investment cost, the management and labor costs, and also the reduce of the number of places in farm. So this is a pursuit project, as I told you before, is still ongoing. So if you want to know something else, or if you want to follow the results of this project, please visit our website. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ambra, for a wonderful presentation. If anyone has any questions for Ambra, please put those questions in the Q&A box and we will come back to them at the end of the webinar. So next we have another presentation from Emilia-Romagna. We have Camilla Lazzi, who is an associate professor at the University of Parma and also is a scientific manager of Ce Fermento. Her presentation is titled Development of New Lacto-Fermented Products Based on Fruit and Vegetables. And Camilla is going to tell us about her research activities and how these new lacto-fermented products can benefit the agricultural industry. Please go ahead, Camilla. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Can you see my screen?
No, not yet.
Oh, sorry. Probably now.
Yeah, now we can.
Okay. Okay. Good morning to everybody, and I want to thank the committee for this invite and for giving me the opportunity to talk about this topic. It is a very pleasure to be here today because I concluded a research project fairly recently with a Japanese researcher. It was a project funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, and it allowed us to create a new scientific network to share research experience and expertise, and of course it was a pleasure to know your wonderful country. Just a short presentation. As you heard previously, I'm a food microbiologist. I'm an associate professor of food microbiology unit at the Department of Food and Drug of the University of Parma. And I'm also member of the Innovation Center CITEIA. We are very proud this year because our department has received a recognition by the Italian Ministry of the University and Research, the recognition of Department of Excellence for the quality of the research produced. And talking about research, my main research topic follow two directions. The first one is the study and employ of lactic acid bacteria in food, so food quality, but I'm also interested in the detection and to understand the behavior of undesired microorganisms like pathogens and spoilage microorganisms. And we have a great resource in our laboratory, namely UPCC, is a microbial collection. The name is UPCC, University of Parma Culture Collection. We actually collected more than 6,000 strains belong lactic acid bacteria, isolated from different environments, mainly dairy environment, over the last 20 years. And we are convinced that our collection is a great reservoir to be valorized for traditional use. Probably you know one famous product of our region, Parmigiano Reggiano cheese, where these microorganisms are the main actors. but we are also convinced in the potential of our bacterial strains for alternative use, innovative application. And for this reason, we opened 2 research fields. One is innovation with the aim to develop and optimize fermentation processes to produce novel fermented products, for example, novel fermented beverage. And the other one is sustainability, and in this case, the aim is to use lactic acid bacteria to valorize waste and byproducts and to produce high value-added compounds. This here we explore a lot of substrate, and I would like to talk about everything, but for time reason I decide to focus on the project Fermento, funded by Emilia-Romagna region, and another project that is object of a patent. About Fermento, the idea was born because we realized that the global market of non-milk fermented products is steadily growing. And since it is known that lactic acid bacteria can improve the nutritional properties and the organoleptic future of food, we decided to ferment with this bacteria juice and puree to produce novel fermented products not yet available in the Italian market. The project of 3 years was funded by Emilia-Romagna region, and it was coordinated by Open Fields. Open Fields is a private company that offer innovation and consulting services in the agri-food sector. It manages innovation projects funded by public institutions or private companies. But Fermento has also involved other partners, and in particular local organic farms, a training organization, and a distribution company, namely Agricoltura. This partnership was very important because the strength of the project was the real technological transfer of the process developed to the producer. And the aim of the project was to produce 2 types of product: juice puree with viable cells for a refrigerated product, and juice puree with functional metabolites for a stabilized, pasteurized product. And following the interest of the partner, we decided to focus mainly in the second product. About the experimental plane, we use 5 metrics, chemically characterized, and we also use lactic acid bacteria for inoculum. We choose about 50 biotypes belonging to different species, and the selection was based on the previous work. We prepare mono and co-culture as inoculum, and we performed more than 600 fermentation. So the first step, considering the amount of sample, was the selection. And the first selection was carried out in our laboratory on the basis of the evaluation of microbial growth in the different substrates and a preliminary sensory analysis. But the second step of selection was carried out at Agricoltura in order to define the best process to scale up. And this selection was done by an acceptability test carried out by 10 non-expert panelists. Each fermented sample was assessed for sight, smell, and taste. And the results are very interesting because all fermented products were appreciated more than the control. And the comments of panelists were positive for all the metrics analyzed. Then we moved on the characterization of a product, and so we study the volatile profile, the total polyphenol content, and the antioxidant activity. About the volatile profile, in line with the sensory analysis, we observed an enrichment of aroma compound profile in fermented products, and especially we observed an increase of volatiles associated with sweet and fruity notes. Concerning the total polyphenol content and the antioxidant activity, no difference were observed between fermented and control, but intriguingly, we observed an increase of phenolic compound belonging to the class of phenyllactic acid derived from the metabolism of microorganisms, amino acid metabolism, and these compounds are reported in literature to possess an high antimicrobial activity. The final step was the technology transfer. This step was carried out into the farm partners of the project. We also realized a nutritional table, and we tested the shelf life of the product, observing a great stability of the product at least until 3 months. So in my view, this is a successful example of a project funded by Emilia-Romagna region that led to a product innovation through the involvement of a food company and academia. But I would like to mention another innovation in the area of sustainability, which I believe is a very promising approach. It is a research about the production of extract with antimicrobial activity to be used in food, but not also in this field, also, for example, in cosmetic, as alternative to commercial preservatives. The aim of this patent is to reuse plant byproducts. We focus on 3 different substrates, tomato, carrots, melon byproducts, and the process patented include grinding of raw material, addiction of microorganisms, fermentation, and a final extraction. Here you can see all the activity conducted, many activity, a lot of work. In the first part of the work, we focus on the optimization of a process, on the fermentation and extraction process, and also we focus into the production in adequate amount of the extract to be used for in vitro, in situ, and small pilot plant assay. And we also evaluate the antimicrobial efficacy on different targets, spoilage and pathogen microorganisms. In the second part of the work, we mainly focus on the characterization of the extract, and so to understand which molecules are responsible of the antimicrobial activity exerted. We also develop a prediction model, microbial prediction model, to assess the activity of the extract in the presence of other variables. And we also carried out a market analysis to understand, to identify possible stakeholders. So to conclude, I hope I have provided some insight into possible future collaboration, as I strongly believe that our experience gained over this year in the field of lactic acid fermentation and the strong tradition of Japanese culture in the world of fermented products can be a perfect match. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Camilla, for that wonderful presentation. Please put any questions that you have for Camilla in the Q&A box, and we will come back to them at the end of the webinar. Thank you very much. Up next, we have our last speaker from the Emilia-Romagna side. We're going to hear from Patrizia Alberti, who is from the Directorate General for Agriculture, Hunting and Fishing. She's going to tell us about the various agricultural knowledge and innovation systems in Emilia-Romagna, including the operational groups they have running to support the agricultural and forestry sectors. Over to you, Patricia. Thank you.
Thank you. It's okay?
Yep, that's great. We can see that.
Allora, good morning. And today it's a pleasure for me to talk about agriculture knowledge and innovation system in Emilia-Romagna. In Emilia-Romagna, there are two ways to support innovation for agriculture system. One way is operational groups. Operational groups to support innovation in agriculture system with a bottom-up approach and bring it together multiple actors like farmers, researchers, advisors, entrepreneurs of agri-food sector, environment groups, consumer interest groups, or over NGOs together. And together we together organize to resolve a question, a problem, and the target are modernization or farmer and forestry, diversification, biodiversity, water quality and water resource efficiency, soil quality, renewable energy, mitigation of ammonia and gas emission, environmental forestation. And in Emilia-Romagna, through the Regional Rural Development Program 2014-2022, is a program of European Union. There are funded 234 operational group. Total investment for this operational group are 29 million euro. And there are another way to support innovation in agriculture. The way is a pilot project. In a period 2014-2022, we realized 80 pilot projects. 51 realized for support supply chain, and there are any 30 realized with individual company, but over project support competitiveness for increase competitiveness, ensure high quality agriculture, and raise the level of innovation. But for to increase knowledge and innovation in agriculture system, it's important to finance training course, advice and consulting activities, study visit and exchange between producers. And Emilia-Romagna, with the rural program development, support a measure like a green catalog, where the farm to found a training course and start visit and exchange between the producer. But it's important to dissemination of the result of project innovation like a pilot project of operational group. And in this period, are financed 19 demonstration projects. And the resource total to support innovation and knowledge system in general in the period 2014-2022 are over 100 million. And in this period, 2023-2027, more short, we support the AKIS, Agriculture Innovation Knowledge System, for 21 million euros, corresponding to 58% of total resource. It's important to record Emilia-Romagna is the first region in Europe to implementation of a measure supporting innovation of the agri-food sector, ensuring cutting and a commitment for a positive future for agriculture. Because it's very important to sustainable innovation to realize an agriculture system sustainable from a point of view competitive, environmental, and social. And for this program, there are 10 objectives, and knowledge innovation support 9 objectives, like food value chain, climate change, environment care, landscapes, generational renewal, rural area, food, and health. Thank you very much, and I'm available for any question. Thank you.
Thank you so much. If anybody has any questions for Patrizia, please put them in the Q&A box and we will come to them shortly when we're done. We're now going to move on to the Q&A section. So to start us off, I have a question for Giuseppe Moscatelli from Mina Ikemoto Ghosh. Her question is, thank you for your presentation. This airwashing technique of the gas loop project requires sulfuric acid. Are there any alternatives being trialed in case of a future sulfuric acid supply shortfall? If much of our sulfuric acid comes from waste products of our fossil fuel consumption, if we shift to renewable energies, sulfuric acid supply would decrease and perhaps increase the cost of the gas loop device.
Good questions for the future. We use sulfuric acid because now is very, very cheaper, very common, and because it is a strong acid. Of course, in the future, sulfuric acid could become less available because derived from the fossil fuel treatment. In this way, our acid are welcome to be used, like nitric or phosphoric acid. These two acids are more and more expensive than sulfuric acid, but could increase a lot the economic value of the recovered fertilizers, because ammonium sulfate is a cheaper fertilizer with a low content of nitrogen. But ammonium nitrate has a higher content of nitrogen, and ammonium phosphoric has nitrogen and moreover phosphorus for the crop production. Moreover, other acid byproduct from agricultural agro-industry sector can be used, as citric acid, but this acid is not so strong.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that detailed response. Thank you. And we have another question, which is for Camilla Lazzi, but also perhaps open to other thoughts and opinions from other speakers. But the question is, the stereotypes of Japan and Italy are very different. Do you think this can somehow benefit you in working together?
I don't know if I understand the right question. Is about the sensory analysis, the panel test. Probably, yes.
It's about the cultural differences between Japan and Italy. So if you want to work together, do you think that these strong cultural differences can actually benefit you in collaborating on research?
Yes, I think that the result of fermented products, the fermented products can be appreciated in both countries. And so for me, it's very interesting to collaborate to explore this aspect, but I think that we are the possibility to explore different strains of our collection, and so differentiate the product, the final product, to define the best strains for a product for the Italian market, but also for Japan market. So yes.
Brilliant, thank you very much. And also, I mean, just as this is a more open question, do anyone else from our panelist speakers, does anyone want to add anything on collaboration between Japan and Italy? If not, we can move on. Or does anybody have any other questions that they would like to add in the Q&A panel, or even if any of our... Oh, hello, Patrizia, please go ahead.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
Okay. Well, in that case,
sorry, Anna, probably if I can talk about my opinion, sorry. I saw a lot of common interest among between Ibaraki prefecture and Emilia-Romagna region, and probably I think could be useful to create a working group in each area of collaboration to prepare program for research mobility, exchange in teaching exchange for academic, but also to prepare project for a call, or and probably we have a lot of common interest. Yes.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Camilla. If anybody has any other questions, here on this final slide, we have Sauko Oyama's contact details from CREAB London, if you have any final questions that didn't get answered this time. So that's it for our webinar. I'm going to hand back over to Jeremy Walker to finish off the webinar. Thank you to all our speakers and all the attendees. Thanks so much for joining. Off you go, Jeremy.
Thank you, Hannah. Yeah. So yeah, many thanks to all of our speakers today for their fascinating insights and presentations. And obviously a special thank you also to the Governor of Ibaraki and President of Emilia-Romagna for their welcome address. We'd also like to thank all of you for attending today, and we hope you found this webinar to be informative and interesting. As Hannah mentioned, if you have any questions or would like any further information, please reach out to Sayoko Oyama, whose details are on the screen below now. And with that, all that's left to do is to wish you all a pleasant rest of your day, however long that might be where you are. So arrivederci, sayonara, and goodbye.